Lions need help, folks, and how do you help the team out? Acquiring talent. And we got the trade deadline coming up here in about 2 weeks, and in this video, I'm going to give you players that the Detroit Lions could trade away, get some draft capital for, or trade for, because a team like the Carolina Panthers is going ahead and doing a fire sale. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we get into today's video, if you think it's a smart and sound idea to go up to a downed power line where the line is active in a puddle and decide to go ahead and jump in that puddle and roll around, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes being a Lions fan, you can get electrified. Also, take that like button with you. Let that bad boy get crisped. Let's get into today's Lions trades. Get into a player that we could trade away. Now, look, we're not going to get a whole lot for this guy, but right now he's not working for the Detroit Lions. When he's on the field, he's not doing anything. And we need help getting after the passer. We need help to get rid of players that are not helping our football team out. And you potentially could go ahead and trade away Julian Okwara and potentially get a draft pick for him. Now, in this case, I have the Lions potentially getting a 5th or a 6th round draft pick, just depending on the team trying to get said player like him. And we've seen it before. Yeah, he's not really useful to us, but maybe a team like the Rams, who probably want to get some help getting after the quarterback. They need help a lot, on the offensive line as well. But maybe they want to help getting after the passer. So we can trade away Julian Okwara and utilize other players that we need help with. I mean, that is what it is. Folks, in the comment section right now, would you trade for or trade away players near the trade deadline? That's going to be the pinned comment for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm curious, because this one is interesting for me to get into. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Next player who I think the Detroit Lions should trade away is on the defensive line as well, and that's Michael Brockers. Why? Because Michael Brockers is pretty useless to us right now. He's not doing anything. And again, maybe a team would like to acquire a veteran that needs a little bit of help there. What's it going to cost them? Not much. We're talking about a conditional 7th round pick for the 2023 NFL draft, but every draft pick matters, folks. Every single one when you're a team like the Detroit Lions. You can find talent in the 7th round. We don't need Michael Brockers. We can help our defense out in this upcoming draft by doing this trade. Really. I'd rather see Demetrius Taylor out there. I'd rather see pretty much anybody out there at this point. Yes, Michael Brockers is a leader. He's a leader of men, but at the end of the day, you got to do something on the field, folks. You got to, look, we got to be able to make stops. We be able to get up to the quarterback, and he's literally done absolutely nothing for us so far. So let's just go ahead and trade him away and get some draft capital. I know we messed with his contract, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's get some draft capital for this guy to help this out. We're going to do one more player to trade away, and then we're going to get into a players that we could acquire to help this team out. Next player on my list who the Detroit Lions should look to trade away. Ready for this one? Here it is. I think the Detroit Lions should look to trade away T.J. Hockenson. He has value right now, and that's good. The Detroit Lions, we don't use our tight ends as much as we probably should. Now, he did have a breakout explosive game against a team where we're talking about in the Seattle Seahawks, where he exploded. We had a great offense. But at the end of the day, we need help on defense. We need a ton of help on defense. And I think getting another first-round pick for a T.J. Hockenson would be freaking epic for the Detroit Lions. That's what I think we can get for them. Team like Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You get a first-round pick. Yeah, it's going to be a late first-round pick. We're talking about a playoff team. But if you can have 3 first-round picks in this year's draft, you can rebuild this defense pretty quickly. And we need a lot of help on defense. We're talking a lot, folks. TJ Hockenson's a luxury for the Lions. Our offense is not really the problem. And we drafted a guy in James Mitchell who I'd like to see something out of him. And again, we're not using a lot for the tight end position. We got Jamison Williams is going to be coming in here soon. Our offense is pretty stacked. Yes, it helps when you have injuries, but at the end of the day, our defense is so poor that why not get a player who is going to be instrumental for the defense, say like, if you want to go linebacker, defensive tackle, or cornerback, for a luxury offensive player, I'm down for it. We need help defensively. We need help in a big way, in an absolute big way. And I think acquiring another first-round pick could be huge for the Detroit Lions. Huge. We need defensive help. Defense is the key. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe you don't like players that I'm going to talk about in this video. Players like Julian Okwara, Michael Brockers, and TJ Hockenson to trade away. Give me a player you would trade away. Let me know in the comment section. What about a player you want to acquire? Name a player in the comment section who you would like to trade for. I'm curious to see what you think on this one for sure. Now we're going to get into players who the Detroit Lions should look to trade for. Trade for. First player on my list, Carolina Panthers edge rusher Brian Burns. The Lions need help at freaking second at quarterback, folks. We need help. We're absolute butt cheeks right now. He was a draft pick in 2019, round 1, pick 16, 24 years old, prototypical 6'5", 249. He is no bum, folks. Brian Burns is having a pretty good year right now. Now, he's got 14 solo tackles, 4 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. He would immediately, I'm telling you right now, help out that defensive line. And guess what? We need to give help to Aiden Hutchinson. You have Brian Burns and Aiden Hutchinson on that defensive line? All right, man. We're starting to sack the quarterback. What is it going to cost you to get a Brian Burns? I don't think it's going to cost as much as you probably would think. Why? Because the Carolina Panthers is on a fire sale. I think the Detroit Lions could get him for a 2023 third-round pick, potentially a fourth-round pick. I think the Lions could do that, and that would be huge. I'm willing to give up that type of draft capital for a player who is young. You're going to have the fifth-year option next year, and who's going to immediately help your team out right now. It's a win-win-win situation. I'm down for it. I'm 100% down for it. I think the Lions should at least acquire about it because, again, Carolina Panthers is desperate, and we are desperate for defensive help. You know, if you're Brad Holmes, you do have to look at every avenue to upgrade this roster, whether it be free agency, draft, and or a trade. Make a call, see if it can happen. What also could happen is betting on games, folks. Now the Lions are having a bye week. That's really good, but there's other games going on. So bet on some games. Chatsports.com/LionsBet. You put in the promo code LIONS125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. Promo code LIONS125. Let's continue on with more players the Detroit Lions could trade for. Now, this one, I like it. I like this player because we need help at the defensive tackle position. This player, I want the Lions to make a phone call on. That's Derrick Brown, defensive tackle, Carolina Panthers. He's 24 years old in the 2020 draft. Pick 7. Now, you remember this because I like Derrick Brown. I like Justin Herbert, Derrick Brown, Isaiah Simmons. Let's see if we can get Derrick Brown to Detroit. He's not no slouch. He's a big-bodied guy, folks. Derrick Brown is a big-bodied man. And I would like to see the Lions go ahead and take him. Look at his stats. 8 solo tackles this year, 0 assists, 0 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. Look, he is the guy to help stop the run and put pressure in the middle. The Lions right now have a terrible defensive line trying to stop the run. It's absolutely god-awful. Derrick Brown's going to help you do that. He's immediately going to make the interior of the defensive line much improved right then and there. And now I'm going to tell you what I think it would take to get Derrick Brown. Are you upset if we was give up a second-round pick for Derrick Brown? I'm not. Why? Because second-round picks has been absolutely brutal for the Detroit Lions so far. Second-round pick to a guy that's going to be a long-term solution on the defensive line, I'm down for it. And maybe even a third-round pick. A late. Just depending. But I think a second round probably is what they would ask for, and I would take that for the Detroit Lions. It's important to build this defense the right way. You trade away TJ Hockenson, you would have 3 first-round picks. You trade for a Derrick Brown or another player, and you start to build this defense. Now we're talking, folks. Now we are talking. We need to have players on this defense that can make an immediate impact. Why didn't I put a linebacker in this? Because for whatever reason, Brad Holmes don't like linebackers. That's why I didn't put a linebacker on the list, or I would have. He just seems to not be big on linebackers. And so I'm 100%. If you say linebacker, I'm with you 100%. Shaq Thompson, there's other players you can look at for sure. I'm all down for it. But the Lions need help on defense, and make some phone calls to the Carolina Panthers. Make some phone calls to see if they're willing to let go of some of these guys. Why not? Upcoming videos, got videos dropping every single day. Get ready for that. And we got Show Thursday. With that said, folks, adios.